The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 59, Registering. We're going to keep in touch with messages and meet up on the weekends, Lorik says as Leora nods. That's good. Then what about the person you have spying on my institute? King Eldrin asks. I'll be keeping them. I plan to have them continue their work until she graduates next year. Lorik replies. Wait, she's graduating next year? I thought she'd be her second year since she's only a year older. Rowan asks confused. Unlike the academy where you can only join at 18, students at the institute can start at any age 16 or above. They just have to pass the entrance exam. Leora passed them when she was 17, so she's in her third year now. Lorik replies, causing Leora to sigh. It's still creepy how much you know about me despite not having seen each other in so long, she says. If you think that's creepy, then... Lorik starts before stopping with a sigh. Then what? Leora asks in a demanding tone. Forget it. I don't want to be yelled at again. Lorik replies. Then what? Leora repeats, pausing between her words. So, Vera, why did you come down to the black market to find me? It took a lot of guts to go and ask Torvin for something. Lorik asks, changing the topic. We will talk about this later, Leora mutters. Did it? I didn't think he was all that scary. If anything, I'm surprised at how easily he gave in after Leora told him her name. Vera replies. Really, I'm going to have some words with him. Lorik replies with a sigh. Speaking of, what are soul flowers? Vera asks, causing Cyrilda and King Eldrin to snap to attention. Why are you bringing up soul flowers? Cyrilda asks. Lorik was in the arena when we found him. He was fighting the champion who used magic illegally in their match. The spell nearly killed Lorik, so as compensation he was given 3 soul flowers. Vera explains, causing Lorik to sigh heavily. Why'd you bring that up here? He says as Cyrilda smiles. Now why did you try to hide this from me? I'm your master, aren't I? Cyrilda says with a mixed tone. She sounds a bit happy, upset, and proud at the same time. I'm starting to rethink that title, Lorik says sarcastically, causing her to gasp. So what are soul flowers? Vera asks again, her curiosity winning her over. They're a flower that carries the soul law, Eldrin explains. The soul law? What echelon is that? Leora asks, having never heard of that law before. It's a part of the second echelon, but it's one of, if not the strongest law of the second echelon. But it's incredibly hard to comprehend, almost as hard as first echelon laws. To our knowledge, the last person who comprehended this law did so almost 200 years ago. Eldrin says. Can the flowers be used to comprehend this law? Rowan asks. No, the flowers carry traces of the law of life. Otherwise, they might have been a carrier for the law. But that's not what makes the flowers so valuable. If you eat them, they'll strengthen not only your body, but your soul. There's only a handful of items known that can strengthen your soul, Cyrilda replies. Does strengthening your soul increase its defense against soul attacks? Vera asks. Yes, but more importantly, they allow it to carry more weight, so to say. In order to become a mage or a grand mage, your soul needs to be able to support the weight of those titles. So in other words, these flowers can make it easier to become a mage and a grand mage. By strengthening your soul, they also increase the speed at which you comprehend your laws. It even increases your soul power capacity. All in all, mages will pay an arm or a leg for these flowers. It's no understatement to say that these flowers are worth a fortune, Cyrilda explains. There are records of previous kings granting noble titles and land to those who give them a soul flower, Eldrin adds. So what are your plans for the soul flowers? Cyrilda asks Lorik. I'm planning to eat one myself. I'm giving one to Leora, and I'm not sure about the third. I honestly only asked for it because I thought he'd say no. Then I'd ask for 2, but Torvin made him agree to it. I could sell it. That would cover our tuition, Lorik says with a smile. If you sell it, come to me first. I'll buy it for a high price. King Eldrin says, causing him to laugh. Why are you giving one to me? I don't plan to work as a mage, Leora asks. Yeah, but you're comprehending a law yourself, the law of branches. Since it's a second echelon law, you'll need help to comprehend it properly. You won't get that help at the Institute, Lorik replies. You comprehend the law of branches? Is that like tree branches? Vera asks. In a way, yes. But with it, you're able to create branches connecting people. I'm only an 8th tier lesser mage now, though. But if I become a mage, I can connect and communicate telepathically with others. I comprehended this law since I plan to work in law. It'll help me communicate with others quietly. Leora explains. That sounds really useful, Rowan says. It is, but it doesn't have any combat spells, so it's not very popular. Leora replies. The king's communication bracelet vibrates before he checks it. He sighs before getting out of his chair. It was nice meeting you, Leroa, but I have to get back to work, he says before leaving the room. I should get back too. I've missed a few classes lately and should check what assignments I need to complete. Lorik, let me know when your matches are. I'll come and watch. Leora says while standing up, Are you sure you'll have the time? Maris has been pestering you to spend more time with her. Lorik says, causing her to turn to him in shock. Stop spying on me, she says before walking toward the door. No can do, sis. Lorik replies, causing Leora to stop in front of the door. She smiles slightly before opening the door and leaving. Look at you. Calling her sis sounds like a happy ever after to me, Cyrilda says teasingly, causing Lorik to give her the middle finger. What? You know what happened to the last person who did something like that to me? She asks him, causing him to smirk. You know what happened to the last person who tried to drug me? Lorik asks back, causing her to laugh. Wait, what happened? You didn't kill them, did you? Sarah asks. No, but they weren't in a condition to walk afterward. But they did make a full recovery. I mean, they were a customer after all. Lorik replies, causing her to sigh. I'm never going to understand the black market, am I? Sarah says, getting a laugh from Rowan. So when do the tournament matches start? Rowan asks. The first day of matches will start on Monday, so in 3 days, Cyrilda says. Oh, but tomorrow is the last day you can register as a competitor. There will only be a total of 64 competitors in each tournament. There are 3 tournaments, one for lesser mages, one for mages, and one for high-tier mages. There aren't any grand mages attending the academy, so there isn't a tournament for them. The higher teams get priority in selections if more people sign up. Cyrilda explains. Is it possible to go against your teammates? Sarah asks, only toward the end. There are 4 blocks, each with 8 matches. You'll each be put in a separate block to avoid that. Only when each block has only 1 competitor left will you go against your own team. So unless 2 of you make it to the last 4, you don't have to worry about that. Cyrilda replies. Aside from points and tickets, what prizes are there? Vera asks. I don't know. It changes every year. They're only announced at the end once the winner is decided. Cyrilda says before nodding. Anyway, you should head back now. I'm sure you're excited to get registered. So get going. Cyrilda says before snapping. The 4 disappear after magic circles appear under them. They reappear back in their dorm rooms. So, Lorik starts once they're back on the dorm couches. What level are you guys? Why are you asking? Sarah asks. It's just been a while, or at least it feels like it. I'm also curious if Rowan made any more progress after his enlightenment. Lorik replies. Well, I haven't. I'm still 5th tier. I've been focusing on getting acquainted with my new magma law. That and the spells. Rowan says. Vera and I are both 6th tier, but we're almost at 5th now. Sarah says before turning to Lorik. What about you? What level are you? Sarah asks. I'm 4th tier after my enlightenment. Lorik replies. You lucky enlightened bastards, Vera says, causing Lorik to laugh. What triggered your enlightenment, Lorik? Or was it just a part of the inheritance? Rowan asks. I think it was what the residual soul told me. He said that the body is just a weapon and needs to be maintained. That just clicked with my law of the hunt, Lorik replies. Clicked how? Sarah asks. Well, my law has a big effect on my body, namely my senses, but it affects my strength. I mean, one of its spells strengthens and reinforces my arms. Lorik explains. I've heard that enlightenment is supposed to be hard to get, but you two seem to make it seem easy. Vera says. Right? It's unfair how easy they got it. Sarah adds before reaching out. Let's make sure we become mages before the boys, she says before Vera takes her hand and nods. Enough. Let's go get registered for the tournament, Rowan says while standing up. Do you know where we have to go for that? Sarah asks while the others follow him to the door. Nope, Rowan replies confidently, causing her to laugh. They head outside before Sarah checks her communication bracelet. She quickly finds the information about the tournament and where to register. She leads the way down to the entrance where there's now a booth set up. There's a woman behind it checking forms and stamping them. There's a small line in front of the booth. The four of them get in line and wait. Here to apply to participate in the tournament? The woman asks Sarah as they get to the front. Yes, me and my team here, Sarah replies while gesturing to the others. Then I'll need each of you to fill out these forms. You need to fill in your mage level, your team number, your name, and laws. The woman says while passing them each a sheet of paper and a pencil. They quickly fill it out before returning it to the woman. She scans them to ensure they filled them out completely. All right, then you'll receive a message over the weekend telling you if you were accepted or not. If you were, then you'll also be told what block you'll be in and when you'll fight. The woman says before the four thank her and leave. I'll be seeing you three in the finals, Sarah says confidently while they walk back to their dorms.